Welcome to Holdback Rack Podcast. My name is Jessica Hare. I operate Hare Hollow Farm, and we breed boas, balls, and select colubrids.
Hi, I'm Jana King. I operate ASM Royal Tails, and I breed high-end ball pythons.
We want to share our journey navigating herpetoculture and are dedicated to promoting biohazard safety for all species. And we would love you to answer the question, what's in your holdback rack? Jana, it's episode 34, and I just want you to know that I am 36 years old. I feel like 3 episodes ago, somehow I failed to answer my age, and I wondered this whole time if you were left in the dark, sad, alone, and confused.
I was left in the dark, sad, alone, and confused. Are you an 86 baby?
Fuck yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm an 86 baby.
Oh my god, girl!
How did we not know this?
I don't know. I'm a February baby.
86. That's freaking awesome. Yeah, I'll be 36 in September.
So I'm slightly older than you. Does that make me better or worse because I'm old and ugly?
It makes you better because you got to graduate
the year before, yeah. I was in 04.
I graduated early, but we don't have to talk about that. But my graduating class is supposed to be 2005.
Did you know that we got a sponsor on the podcast?
We what? Huh?
Weird.
Weird.
Jana, listen.
I
was like, this is like a dumpster fire full of like old tampons, and I don't know why anybody would want to sponsor whatever's happening here. And I tried to convince
that maybe he was like drunk, and
he's still drunk. He's continuing,
and he's continuously drunk.
Right.
That has to be it.
Yeah. So no amount of talking to me on the phone has somehow dissuaded him from this process. So, I mean, God bless him. Thank you, Kelley of Small Town Exotics, for sponsoring the Holdback Rack podcast.
Yay! Yay! You're awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. We're very confused, but we appreciate it nonetheless. I don't know how to congratulate somebody in like moving into the trailer trash department of the podcast world, but here we are.
Well, I think with that sponsorship, we will work on an actual logo and maybe do up some t-shirts for people who come on as a guest. Maybe we'll do like a raffle off a t-shirt or something. I don't know. We'll do something fun with it.
Yeah, we've been struggling a little bit with our everything, as always. By the end of the summer, I think we'll
have it back together.
Stuff together. And we'll have a new logo to roll out as a shirt. And maybe a holdback rack flavor of tampons or something. Who knows?
Can we do flavored condoms instead of tampons?
Yes. Yes, you can. Only if they're like ridged for her pleasure or whatever.
Yes.
Because I feel like that would be very appropriate. Yes. Okay. Yes. I just wanted to point out that I'm going to kill Kelley in his sleep and steal the snake he just bought from him.
And while you're stealing that snake, can I steal his enhancer G-stripe mail?
Okay. So this is like a plan now. I think it's coming together.
Yeah,
okay.
For sure.
So we got a red striped yellow belly Wookiee clown. And how do you feel about that? Did you see it?
I might have to kill you and Shane.
Oh no, it's a double murder.
Like, why is Jessica dead at Shane's house?
Oh, that'd be very suspicious. It's like those like gangster dramas.
Murder, suicide, and then just mystery 2 snakes missing.
It's not gonna happen. We won't murder you. We're trying to just be mean a little bit. No, we're jealous mostly. I think that's what's happening here.
All the way jealous. Right. Yes.
No, she's very
clown. Oh.
She's very beautiful, very juicy, nice black back, and beautiful like pixelated yellow belly sides. I'm into it all day. Every day.
All day, every day.
Congratulations.
We will be begging you for babies.
Yeah. All right, Jana. So we had a crazy journey. Was this a journey it's been more than a week now. 8-9 days. Weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like a journey has been happening?
Spiritual is almost too nice a term. It has been like a war was waged and we were in the trenches and bombs were exploding all around us and we were just like, how did we get here?
Yeah, it turns out.
Am I right now? I don't remember signing up to fight this war, but I think I did. But now what's happening? I'm real confused.
Yeah, and just for context, obviously, Kayla Malo Mayonnaise was our guest about 2.5 months ago or so, and she's told the exact same story that she then told again on FBI group. And because we're a shitty podcast and nobody listens to it, it didn't actually like hit the mutation creation radar until she posted on Facebook. Yeah. And she's been posting it elsewhere. Like she would like drop comments in other comments. So it wasn't like it was 100% blasted out of nowhere.
This is just talking about it for over a year.
Yeah, this is just the first time they finally noticed. And so this caused a cascade of events. I don't know how much you want to talk about them, but there was a lot of people talking to each other, I guess is the shortest way to synopsize. I called more people this week. Well, the week it was happening.
Yeah. There were so many backdoor phone calls.
Yes. And
behind the scenes.
I obviously knew that was true. And I kept thinking about what Joe said about like the hobby is smaller than you think. Like it seems bigger and is smaller than you think. And that is 100% true.
It seems huge when you're in the 80% because you're like literally like on the escalator of failure and it's going, you're running up and it's going down and you're just like, I'm gonna fail. But once you get to the top,
are we at the top?
Very, very small. No,
I know. God,
we hung out there for like a minute.
1 minute, yeah, 1 minute, yeah.
Like one whole minute, we were at the top and we were like, actually, there's like not very many people up here. They're all calling each other every day for some reason.
So everyone was just trying to figure it out. But the conversation that really needed to happen was the one between Kayla and Billy, right? And it did happen eventually. And that was our breakthrough moment.
Yes, I'm so proud of the hobby and their ability to just finally, like Billy, just to swallow down his pride and his anger and use his communication skills. Because I personally have worked with Billy and bought several snakes from Billy, and his customer service was above and beyond. Like he called me, he helped ship snakes from another breeder that was near him when he shipped my snakes. Like he was amazing. So I know he has customer service skills, but Kayla for some reason just really gets on his nerves and he wasn't very nice to her. And so that's very surprising to me because of my experience, but he does possess those skills. So he was able to push past all of his anger and dislike of Kayla, and he apologized and he listened.
Mm-hmm. Did you see where he said the reason why he did that was because people were making up extra fake material on the FBI group? The mods in the FBI group posted a fake post. It's like, we have a video of Mutations Creations 6 snakes corkscrewing and drooling everywhere. Send me money and I'll send it to you. Did you see that post?
Yes, I did. And then she was like, this is wrong. This is unethical. I have nothing to do with this. I don't know what's happening right now. And that made Billy realize, oh, she isn't out to get me. She isn't trying to take down my business. She really is just trying to talk about 6 snakes.
Right. And I think people who still maybe think Kayla was just attempting to besmirch Billy the whole time should sort of recognize that Billy saw the good in her action where she's like, this is fucked up and weird, frankly. And that was what fixed it. So like they're resolved now. So if anybody's still mad at Kayla for just posting it to begin with,
mad at Kayla or mad at Billy or mad at anyone in the situation that was talking or reporting on, it's been resolved. We can all take a big deep breath and let it go because they have.
Right. So thank God. I felt very bad and I wasn't even involved. I was just like...
Right. Yeah, we weren't involved in it. They didn't drag us into it, which I'm very grateful for. But there was a Zoom call. Everybody, does the general hobby know about the Zoom call or was that private?
The first one?
Was there another one?
I mean, the second one that we attended was also a Zoom call.
I'm talking about the one we attended.
Okay, the first one was very bad.
No, I'm not talking about the bad one. I'm talking about the resolution one.
Okay, the resolution one was good. Okay, yeah. The resolution one was good. I think the link can be shared, but I don't think it's public truly, if that's what you mean. Like, it's not.
Yes. Okay.
Like,
So anybody who doesn't know, Billy did a Zoom call, and Jessica and I attended, and he basically said, "We've talked about it. We've resolved it. There's no animosity." He apologized for his contribution to the situation. Kayla even came on and talked for a few segments in that. He also, came out and said that he was trying to learn all he could about Nido, that he is going to be taking steps in the future to ensure that his babies don't have Nido, just to increase and bump up his biosecurity measures. Right?
Mm-hmm. It went on for 5 hours.
It went on for 5 hours, and there was a lot. I think there was a lot of emotion happening from multiple parties. It is resolved. It is over, and I think that positive things are going to come from it.
Mm-hmm. And the other takeaway I have, like the most important takeaway that I will say as many times as I possibly can, is if somebody sends you a message, even if you're outside of the return window, and it's like a very specific message about like the condition of your animals, don't leave them on red. At least respond with like, hey, that sounds like it sucks. You're outside of my return window, but I'll see what I can do to help. Or here's my vet friend. Or let me reach out to some people,
What kind of support can I offer you?
Right. No one's expecting a refund 6 months later that has any brain cells, I'm pretty sure. If they are, then we have to work on educating buyers about what's the situation around here. It's just like...
Right. Even Kayla was not expecting a refund. She was more trying to share information about what was happening.
Right. So getting left on red looks bad. It looks like you don't care. Even if you would care. But he just didn't care because it was coming from her. I slept much easier after the Zoom call. What day was that?
Did you though? Or did you sleep less easy about different things then?
No, I've told you this privately, and I guess we'll share it publicly. Like, knowing what I knew about Billy for the last whatever time, it was mostly just disappointing. Like, I liked him, or I thought I liked him. I hadn't bought anything from him, but I thought I liked him, and I was like, oh, he just doesn't care enough to respond to something that's this important to me.
Right, yeah, I know.
So it hurts my feelings, and I'm not even involved.
Something that we've gone head to head on, because Billy is a huge inspiration to me. Some of my big projects are inspired by Billy. I was a big fan. I was on Patreon. And then we're doing this podcast, and it was just a point that we really didn't agree on, especially around the Kayla situation. And it was really hard for me to see that he acted that way, especially when he doesn't know me, from Adam, whatever. He went way out of his way to bend over backwards to be so kind to me and so helpful to me. And like I said, we talked on the phone, and to me, that's amazing customer service. It's above and beyond. And then to see this other really disappointing situation about a subject that we do feel so passionate about, it's reassuring to see him turn over a leaf and to be able to put him back up on that pedestal that I had him on, because it's been really hard to have someone that you really admire and someone that you really look up to. I mean, everybody's human, so he did a human thing, but it's just like, it's nice that he can still be someone that I look up to.
Mm-hmm. Cathartic, Jana.
Yeah, I mean, that has nothing to do with me, and he still doesn't know who I am, but it doesn't matter. I'm happy.
He knows your name a little bit. He dropped it a couple times. There, brother. Come on, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked to Billy over the weekend.
Just listen to her now. Big in her
No,
pants.
I don't know.
I just talked to Billy this weekend.
He just wanted to share where he was going, keep his mindset on the right path, and I feel great, genuine, awesome. Thank God everybody gets a pat on the back. Oh, look at the time. Jana's on BJ duty, so everybody gets a BJ from Jana. So because of this, we've resolved things. So
I'm single, so everybody can have a blowjob.
Yeah, so you just reach out to Jana, ASM Royal Tails. Maybe you have to buy a snake, maybe two, some of the time. If it depends if it's real gross. But
slide one of those dick pics right into the DM.
Right in there. If it looks good and it's pretty straight, she's into it. No, please don't send her dick pics.
Please don't.
No. Yeah, no.
Uh,
No, that was a
satire.
weird joke. Yeah, so I don't know. I fucking want to hand out medals or something, but
Yeah,
yeah.
everybody gets a freaking gold star, and I'm just real proud of the industry and real proud of how this turned out. And I can freaking love Billy again and to not fight with my work wife about it. So thank you,
Excellent.
Billy. Thank you so much. You have made my work environment so much better, and now I can be all Team Billy again, and I'm very happy about that.
Right, and I don't want to like overstate any influence we may or may not have had on the process because I think
Oh, we had none.
right
I don't.
other
Well, maybe
people.
you had more than I did.
I don't know. No, I think other people were helping more, but I was
Right.
trying to help them help. So how many
Right,
phone calls can there be? But I felt like we got somewhere through like a group effort to resolve it instead of what was happening, which was not very healthy either. So this is good. So this is like, here's a question, Jana. Please tell me the answer. Was it good that Caleb put the FBI post up?
Yes.
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 Because we got the good resolution?
Because up until this point, she's been telling her story, and she's just been getting, oh, she's a cunty bitch, Karen, that's just trying to witch hunt Billy. And it had nothing to do with Billy, I mean, at all. And I know that he knows that now, but maybe other people don't. Like, it really had nothing to do with mutation creation, having Nido. Had nothing to do with that at all. The message was, Nido is real, Nido exists. It can even come from renowned breeders. Let's test on intake. Okay? That's what that was the message. I think that if our community could be just a little bit more tolerant and more understanding, like people who have tested positive for Nido within their own collection don't feel like they can talk about it. You know, there are a couple of bigger breeders that on the back channels are known to be testing for this actively, but aren't comfortable sharing that. And that is still a frustration that we are dealing with in the Nido community. I mean, the testing community. And so I just feel like it's such a big stride forward to be able to say most collections have Nido, maybe. And let's all test on intake, maybe. And let's talk about Nido. And let's not point fingers and try to tear down businesses, but let's just say, this is a part of our industry. What are we going to do about it? And I think that's where the conversation turned. And instead of pointing fingers and instead of having hurt feelings, I think once we got past all that, it was just so the right direction of what are we going to do about it? What does that mean for the industry? This is a real thing. How are we going to approach it? Because most other animal industries have disease testing in place.
They sure do.
And so I feel like Kayla's post in FBI finally pissed off enough people, even though, I mean, like, I don't think she was trying to piss off people. I think she was trying to advocate for testing, but it pissed off enough people that, and then there was like the big, you know, fires and talking about lawsuits and all the craziness. But in the end, I think that we got on the same page. This is real. This is happening in our industry. What are we doing about it? And I think that leaving it as an open-ended question like that, it's such a good first step.
100%. Yeah, thank God.
How do you feel about it?
You know, I've struggled on this dumb podcast about like what degree of call outs are appropriate or necessary to enact change. And I think her post was fine. It was correct. Even if it had a not good outcome in the end. That's what that platform is for. She already said the same stuff on here.
Wasn't out of left field.
Right, no. It wasn't like a surprise that happened. Some percent of call-outs should continue. I just don't know what percent. Like, when is it tactful to take a name out and just be like, hey, I'm like subtly peer pressuring this person into doing something by not mentioning them, but basically mentioning them publicly versus a direct call-out. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I'm really happy with the outcome. Like I said, I love Billy, and I'm Team Billy, and I'm so glad that it's over and that I can be Team Billy, and let's just move on, everybody. and continue to talk about testing and to continue to throw it out there in everyday language. I mean, we have a podcast, we talk about reptiles, but we also slip in just a little bit all the time about how this is normal and how this is normal in other industries involving animals. And I think people, our whole 10 listeners are hearing us and maybe have ordered some swabs. And I feel really great about that.
I know.
You feel really great about that?
Yes. Because a fucking sob story about dead snakes. Woohoo. But that's still the motivation here, is to not have repeats of whatever the fuck we've been doing before. Yes, so we're still worth doing. I think God forbid there's like a day where we don't have to talk about it and we're just like making fun of bumblebees. Wouldn't that be something?
Bumblebees.
All right, moving on. I think
we got another 5-star review, and this could maybe lead us into our next.
All right, go for it.
But Snakes and the Fat Man gave us a 5-star review. It says, I can't even believe it took me so long to hear of this show, although I don't agree with everything these women say. I still think the talks are incredibly natural, informative, and funny. They're basically like smarter, better-looking versions of me. Easily one of the best shows I've listened to this year.
Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you, Chris. I think you're misinformed. This is not an informative podcast. This is it probably brings your IQ down at least 10 points minimum, right?
Yeah, we do share information, but I feel like we crack jokes too. Like there should be some funny. It's funny, right? I think we're funny. Maybe nobody else is getting that we're funny.
I think we're funny too.
I guess that's all that matters.
I know. I was just
Jane Kelley. Are we funny? I don't know.
Right in 555. Don't give a fuck. Any town, USA. So Chris Eaton was on last week, Jana, and I've edited it, and I thought about it, and I think I have an apology to give to Chris, because I think I formulated the early questions about like male gaze and female gaze the wrong way. And later on I asked Chris, I was like, Chris, my husband, not Chris Eaton. That's confusing. I was like, were these questions correct? Because when I was saying them, they didn't feel correct for the tone. And then I was like, I've driven this fucking crazy train off of the road. We're in a ravine and the cougars are coming. I'm not sure where we're going. I think we pulled it out eventually, but let me sort of roll back what I was sort of getting at. Maybe that'll clear things up and Chris will love us once more. Because I don't know if he does now.
He still sounded a little mad on his podcast.
He sure did. And he did on Reptile Gumbo too.
Yeah, he sure did.
Mm-hmm. So, Chris's podcast looks sexist on the surface to some people based on the promotional material.
Correct.
Right? But I and you and he don't think the content of the material is particularly sexist. It's just funny with like...
It's actually like the opposite of sexist.
Yes.
Because he's giving a voice to women in the industry more than any other podcast.
Right. So,
including us, because nobody's listening.
Exactly. So, like, my point was, heteronormative isn't a bad word. It just means it's normal for a heterosexual person, and if it's a man, it's a heteronormative man. If a heterosexual man exists, he probably likes titties, right? All right. Mm-hmm. Does this follow? So his podcast is what a heterosexual man would sort of the flavor text here, the scratch and sniff portion of it is titties. So that's fine. That's the whole point.
I still think that we need to have a much deeper conversation about flavors of cum.
So that's fine. So this podcast is heteronormative also, ish. I don't know where Jana's at right now.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, ish. We'll go with ish.
Okay. This podcast is pansexual.
It's like 80%-ish.
But it's just happens to be female. So Chris's is all right and ours is all right. It's not all right for every viewer because every viewer is not comfortable with that. But both should be accepted. But also other kinds should be accepted too if they are to exist. It's not like, Chris, you need to go find a trans dude to get on right now. So you meet your quota of extra kinds of people to add. That wasn't the point at all. Like, I literally do not, that's not the composition. I'm just saying people shouldn't hate Chris for being heteronormative and then like us. Like, that is also not fair, which I think that's already happening.
I would also just like to say, I am not a man hater. I am deep in a gross divorce, and I tend to be a very positive person. And if you've listened to past episodes, even though my marriage was a hotbed of hell and mess and disaster everywhere, I was not speaking ill of my ex, and I was saying complimentary things of him. That is better representation of me. And I felt like I was always very respectful of him, even though things were not awesome. I think that when you are going through a divorce, that it's okay for like a minute to hate men. So if I say something that is offensive to you or something that is mean to men in general, it's not really directed at any of you. It's directed at my ex. So there's that.
I hate men.
You hate men? Okay.
I can't even say it with a straight face.
Bring on all the women. Okay? Because I guess that's how it's going. But also, all the blowjobs are mine.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's still BJ duty. It's still on the docket
still
right
on
here.
The table. That's
yeah,
right,
100%.
So,
yeah, if I check the calendar, I'm pretty sure it's indefinite also. So unless we can slot someone else in, it's like Highlander. You'll have to kill them so they can take it. I don't know how this system works, but it's something like that. And the other thing I think of, the way I worded it was unclear, that we thought bias existed in the hobby and maybe we were victims of it and we were complaining about it. I actually don't think there's like systemic bias against women, but because of the female Facebook group, there are personal situations where people have felt bias.
Right.
And so he is not allowed in that Facebook group because he has boy pee-pee parts. So he would never have read those statements from those women and trans people, right? Non-binary people. Did you know that Facebook group was almost taken down for hating on men? Like, it got flagged by Facebook as like hate speech.
What?
Last week. No,
I missed
2
that.
weeks. No, the 4th. And I was like, oh my God, it's coming full circle. I learned this today. And I was like, what are we doing? So in general, I think that group might actually be toxic. Is this crazy? Because
toxic femininity?
No, because it's a safe space, quote unquote, that excludes men and doesn't let men know that some stuff could be happening to some women at some shows or whatever. Yeah. Yes. So like, I'm aware that Chris is aware that there are small cases, but I just wanted to know if he thought there was something more going on, and I think he defended his position well, that probably is not a systemic issue. Like, there's no like girls live over here, but I don't know how systemic or systemic it isn't because we only experienced one show circuit. I guess my next thought after that was if I invited a woman on that thought that there was systemic sexism, would that be like a more balanced, discussion? Or would that be an unbalanced? Like, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not even sure how to handle this because I'm too dumb. Frankly, like I wasn't educated in gender studies or women's rights. I just have a vagina and I sometimes use it, and I'm not sure where we're at right now. Jana?
I think that you're making it real complicated. And I think that
I'm
maybe
here.
We have come off as like super liberal cunts a little. And are you even liberal? Do you identify as liberal?
No.
So
I identify as 40 acres and a mule.
Yeah, this is why I call myself liberal, because I come from a extremist conservative family. Like,
hey, can I
20,000.
Sorry,
yeah.
Can I interrupt real quick? Did you watch that Netflix documentary about the
Under the Banner of Heaven?
No, it was called Be Sweet and Obey, about like...
Oh, it's been recommended to me, but it was kind of triggery, so I haven't watched it yet.
I was like, fuck, this is Jana. Jana's here.
Yeah.
She's gonna be sent off.
Me. I mean, so my friend who also had the same upbringing as me, was very triggered by it, and so I have not yet looked at it. But yeah, very, very, very conservative, Trump-loving, gun-toting, women barefoot in the kitchen, pregnant, making pie type shit. And so when I go to family events or holidays, they literally call me the liberal at the table. They'll be like, "Oh, the liberals here," or "Oh,
Oh my
I
God.
can't talk about this shit because the liberals here." And
You should
so...
break their noses. Is that weird?
And I'm also a woman, and so I shouldn't have any political agenda other than my husband, now ex-ish husband. Oh, I don't even know how to say that right now.
I don't know.
But
you're doing great.
so when I say liberal, it is very much in jest to the fact that I just do not share any political or religious or cultural identity with how I was raised. I very much see it very different from that. And so I don't actually think that I'm very liberal. I think I'm more like median.
Right,
in the
and
middle of the road.
Also, to be clear, you could be as liberal as you want to be, but we've had a lot of people like implying. I think the word woke has a clearly negative connotation, and I, in the last podcast, I definitely like bristled at that word because that's like calling someone a libtard, basically. And I'm like, not really. Sorry. It's okay to be like, don't make fun of the trans kid at the show.
Right.
That doesn't make you a libtard.
I'm not this woke libtard. I am actually pretty conservative. If you consider me liberal, I'm a very liberal, like conservative liberal. Anyway.
Whatever. Most human beings are more complex than a label. And so we went into topics that probably weren't that good last week in general.
Yeah.
We will never do that again. Mistake made and finished. We will talk about
he
gay.
was a good sport about it.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
He's bitched a little. I mean, it gave him a little ammunition, but I think that's just his general...
Right. We'll definitely get him back on to talk about gay sex, though, because...
that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Oh, and more love letters to Shane, so...
I know, that was beautiful. I thought about writing... Should I say this out loud? I'm not sure.
Yeah. Especially when you have all the editing power, so you
I
can
know.
take it back
So
later.
I was gonna write like a Chuck Tingler style erotic short, and just like make one of them a werebear and one of them a werewolf or monitor lizard, and then have them like in some totally like not related to their life at all. They don't even look like themselves, but they're just ironically named Chris and Shane, and they have some sort of like. And then, of course, it's a megaverse, so one of them's getting pregnant. I just haven't decided who. So,
Shane can definitely. I think he's much more sensitive.
He can carry the litter.
He can carry the litter. Especially since we decided he was the power bottom, so...
I think Chris decided that. I wonder if Shane has a different opinion.
He has not commented on that segment of our show.
Mm-hmm. So, it's fine. Maybe they'll have to, like... in the story, like, duke it out, like, alpha versus alpha using their scent glands or whatever. Yeah. I thought about it, and then I was like, I will be shunned from every hobby corner of this earth.
So, on that note, I would like all of our listeners to know, all 10 of you, that I did my homework.
Oh, you read a Brittany Gobble story?
I actually reached out to her and asked her which one she recommended. And she was like, it depends. Do you like it extra steamy or just regular steamy? And I was like, no, I want the extra. Always the extra. Is there really an answer to that question that's ever the other answer? Anyway, and so I've been reading her series, her Siren series. And
no spoilers. Haven't read any of them yet, but just like general
but you
synopsis.
wanted to know what her
kink was? What is it?
So she does reverse harems.
Oh, thank God. What a blessing. A blessing from the Lord.
I was laughing so hard because that's totally your stick too.
Oh my God, I love like 10 dudes at the same time.
And it's like 5 or 6.
Yeah, good. Great. I'm reading it tonight. Sign me up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I'm like a huge Anita Blake, Laura K. Hamilton fan. Have you read her?
I haven't, but the names are familiar. No, I haven't read it. Just the names are familiar.
Oh, okay. She has like 50 guys. It's great. And there are all kinds of creatures. She has like one of every creature. She like collects
Good.
creatures.
Yeah, have you ever read Fruits Basket?
I have not.
It's not a for adults technically. It is one of the like best original reverse harem. It's more like a love story because there's no sex in it, but it's one of the originals. It's where all these things sort of started. The most famous original. So she sort of falls into a situation where she has to live in a house with guys that transform into all of the animals of the Chinese zodiac when she hugs them. So if she sort of falls into a dude and hugs them, they'll like turn into a dog or a rat or a tiger or a dragon or a snake. And so there's all these like funny where she's like, she meets each one. She has a meet cute with each one and has these like situations. And she hugs them and has sort of interpersonal conflict because all of the different guys have a different personality. That's the like original. It's called Fruits Basket. It's a manga. Japanese women, everybody. Round of applause.
Beautiful.
I love them every day. So that was it. Do you have anything else to say in retrospect? He was a good sport, I guess, thank God for that.
There were some people that said we were like real hard on him, but I feel like, especially when I was like railing about Morph Market, I don't think that wasn't directed at Chris. That was just, I felt strongly about that issue, and I felt like he held his ground and was totally fine. I don't feel like he walked away going, God, what bitches, you know? Like,
I think it was.
We had a great discussion. I don't feel like it was, I don't know. I felt like it was really, I feel really good about what we turned out. And I just want to say to Jessica, it was awesome that you did not edit any of the, hey, you should edit this shit out. Because I say that, you guys, you have no idea. Like, I say that probably like 50 times a recording. And I'm like, Jessica, you better edit that shit out. And then this time you guys got to hear it. That was almost raw. And it was hilarious. And I loved that you left it that raw. And
yeah, there was a very particular dynamic as you went along. Like, it was a little tense in the beginning because we were being weird. I had poor language choices. And then you sort of railroaded him in the butthole a little bit, and he liked it. And then we like changed the mood, and that was for the best, and it was very funny then. I laughed a lot even while editing it, even though I just heard it.
I listened back and laughed my ass off.
Yeah, so I feel like he did good. He's always invited back. We won't talk about anything stupid anymore. Only weird stuff with industry people, mostly. Probably is the best choice.
I don't think he's coming back anytime soon, unless there are blowjobs and boobs involved.
Well, you're on the docket, so.
All right. Well, I guess I'll take one for the team.
All right. Thanks, buddy. I was on MJ's podcast. I haven't even rewatched it. I don't know if I will. Is that weird? I might later.
I think you probably want some distance from it. Wasn't that? It was a little stressful, wasn't it? No?
I always get like pre-show jitters, but it was fine eventually. Since he doesn't give you questions in advance, and he doesn't really prime you too much what he would like you to say, or what direction he's going to go. It's literally just like off the cuff. I'm sure he has sort of bullet points in his mind somewhere else.
Yeah, off the cuff isn't your favorite.
No, I think ad-libbing is fine, but you will, by necessity, misspeak. There was times he asked me a question and somehow I failed to answer the question, but he didn't like circle back around and like re-ask like part of the question that he was asking it for. When you do a StreamYard, you don't actually see the chat. I think the chat would have been irritating to see go by, whatever they were saying, good or bad. You can't see that. Yeah, I couldn't see it.
Oh, interesting. I thought you could.
No, well, I mean, would have to bring it up on my phone or something and like mute that, but you can't see it in StreamYard. So I chose not to bring it up. I didn't know if it was going to be like good or bad or whatever. And I've had more people have downloaded the podcast because of that podcast.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, there's a clear like second spike.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not a lot, but let's just more. Let's go with more.
Yeah, I was curious, like if your followers if you got an uptake in followers.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, nothing crazy. Or... 10, 5, 10 or something dumb. And some people reached out and were like, I'm interested in what you have to say, and thanks for sharing, and what, the normal stuff. And that was great.
Will you do it again?
Yeah. Yeah, it was fine. I don't know how it appeared to other people, but came out as weird as possible and I left as weird as possible, and that's all I can expect from myself.
It's hard for me, because it feels like you were cheating on me a little bit. Um,
Jana, I would never marry MJ. Let me just put it that way.
yeah, no, and I wanted you to do it. I'm like not a super jealous person or anything, but I feel
Were
like
you jealous?
okay, you gotta let me talk.
Okay.
Okay, gotta use your listening ears now.
All right, I'm muting myself.
So I don't know how many of you have listened from the beginning and know that this story that Jessica and I would shoot the shit in her driveway all the time, and she was like, "We have the most interesting conversations, and we have this really fun like rapport and quip back and forth, and it's a lot of fun." She's like, "I think people would like to listen to it," and I'm just like, "You're high, motherfucker." And so we just kind of have this fun. I mean, you guys know you listen, right? So we have this fun little relationship, and she's like the mentor, master's degree lady, and I'm like the student, but also like relatable, all the, sciencey jargon thing. And so I don't know, I feel like we just have this really great balance. And then you went on MJ, and I adore MJ and I adore his podcasts, and you guys did not have the same chemistry as us at all. And so I was like, I
No.
could do it better. I'm like, if I was there, it would have been better. And like, I didn't want to be there because you were talking about your business, and I am not associated with your business. But it was irritating to me that because I feel like when I talk to you, you're very relatable and you're very fun and you're very like, you have this very dry humor and we just have fun. And so you went on there and I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bored. And neither of you have bored me before, but together I was like, oh my gosh, how long is this gonna go on for?
I thought it was fine. I was a little monotone and sleepy sometimes because we were just talking about like normal stuff. Like,
yeah,
how do you assemble a farm or whatever?
Yeah, I don't know. I was just a little frustrated because I was like, it could have been, there were like little moments where you guys were like razzing each other a bit. And I feel like the whole thing could have been fun like that. I don't know. I'm like, man, if I was giving this interview, it would be hilarious and we would be having so much fun. Not even that I like needed to be in your interview with MJ. I was just a little disappointed with, I don't know, I feel like we quip better. That's all.
Yeah, but we quipped like dog shit for fucking 10 episodes. It takes time to like build a rapport. And I don't know if you know this, but like MJ like mirrors his guests in a way that I think is technically appropriate, right? Like, so if his guest comes on and has a particular vibe that he's resonating with, he'll mirror that back.
I had never noticed that until this episode.
If he has a guest who's like quite polite and formal, he will tone down a little bit and try to be formal also, while still being himself.
It was very clear this time watching that he was like very muted. It was odd to me because neither of you come across that way to me, but together you guys were like very muted and very, it was an odd result. It was not what I was expecting when I thought you were going to go on MJ, and I thought you guys were going to just like laugh and this would be great, this would be funny, and
I don't think like I know he's listened to the podcast, but I don't know if
has he listened to any episodes of the podcast?
He's told me he has listened to some parts of some podcasts just to see if it was cool.
If you're listening, you better reach out because I'm calling bullshit on that.
Well, I don't know like where he started or stopped because I don't think he started at like the beginning and listened to like introductions because that's fucking.
I think he probably listened to the Kayla episode just like everybody else, and
right. So we weren't talking that much,
right?
When we're interviewing people by design or whatever. So, maybe interviews are better if you either A, know that person well because you've been listening to their podcasts. Like I know Joe well, even though Joe doesn't know me from a fucking hole in the ground.
Right, you knew him well, but I didn't, so I was very quiet.
Right, so that would be boring if it was you interviewing Joe. So that's why I'm like,
it would have been awful.
so like, and then like, if you want the interview to be more formal, then it's okay if you're not talking that much because you're just giving them the space to talk. And then there's the interviews that are more chatty and are more discussion. All of those are different kind of interviews and fine. And I don't know if we have the skill set to do them all very well, frankly.
Well, I know that we disagree a lot on interview styles. You think I talk way fucking too much, which is hilarious because you left that in the other episode. So you all got to experience that.
In that particular episode, I couldn't edit things out that I would have normally edited out because Kristen goes on to reference it like 3 more times in ways that are funny. And I'm like, fuck.
I loved it. I
Right.
absolutely loved
Right.
it. It made me so happy. And it was like, because I have told a few people who listen and who comment and stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you should hear what it actually sounds like. And I think that people got a little glimpse of it. And I think that little bit, it was funny because he references it later. And so I just absolutely love how you edited that episode. I'm not saying please don't do that on all the future episodes, because I say, like, literally, guys, 50 times. Okay, edit that out, please.
Right. I mean, there's a time and a place. And I also I don't know if you noticed this, I don't do chapter marks on interviews on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because there kind of is like a clump, but kind of not. Because half the time you're calling back to previous conversations.
Correct.
There's never a clear point where I'm like, I mean, yeah, we started Screw, Marry, Kill. So my only chapter would have been like, Screw, Marry, Kill, the beginning. So I rarely do because I don't think it's actually like helpful.
No, you can't just listen to a bit of it because it's being taken out of context then.
Right, and I do think 2 people interviewing 1 person is inherently a very difficult proposition in general.
One of us usually takes a back seat.
Yes, and I think that should be what happens. Like, I do not also need to railroad at the same time or whatever, because that's not helpful either, because it would disrupt your train of thought while you're thinking and disrupt his counter arguments.
Gosh, we're getting a lot of Jana personal details today. This is odd.
Well, then don't say it. Or if you don't want to say it.
Youngest of 9 children. And a lot of people have trouble with this particular aspect. So growing up, if you wanted to be heard, you had to just speak. If you waited for a pause or for no one to be speaking, you would never be heard. And so the culture that I was raised in, we all just would talk over each other, and it was just loud chaos, but it was wonderful loud chaos. And we all do fine in that. Like, we can hold 14 conversations at the same time and all be saying our point at the same time, and it's chaotic. And most polite people, or people who weren't raised in a barn, are like, no, you need to wait your turn to speak. That's very rude. You just interrupted me. And that's not how my family was raised. So a threesome interview, that feels like the wrong term. For me, like, I do fine on that, but so I keep expecting you to jump in and like finish my thoughts or whatever, and you're very polite in the corner, and so it makes me chuckle because I'm like, oh, that was my trailer trash race in a barn upbringing.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think we're doing fine.
Oh, we're doing great. I mean, come on, Shane Kelley wants to sponsor.
Oh my God,
podcast.
Shane!
You have arrived.
He's back.
Shane. Thank you,
buddy. I don't know, because, I mean, you heard Chris say, like, the reason why he did bullshit is because Sean Bradley would interrupt his guests continuously in a very obvious, irritating way all the time.
Yeah, that's me.
I don't think you do it the way... You should listen to bullshit at some point.
Okay.
And
on my to-do list.
Yeah, you'll just hear, like, what he was talking about, and you don't do it quite the same way at all. You're just still like a conversational thing. But I've always been trying to be sensitive, at least for guests. Like, if we're bitching at each other, women, we sort of talk over each other anyway. But when a guest is around, I try if I can to give them space. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how to do anything.
You get a little bit formal, and then that's kind of how you were on MJ, and I was just a little... That's not how you are with me. That's not the energy that I get from you.
Your MJ and you are 2 different people.
It was a little weird for me.
Okay.
I'm allowed to have big feelings. You're my work wife.
Yeah, I mean...
Don't abandon me for MJ.
Oh, no. He doesn't want me.
Well, I want you, so we're good.
It was great. He had a very professional, like, pre-show and post-show, like, because he's done it 800 times in the last year. He gets you your link on time. He does sound check on time. he explains what he's doing, whatever, right? All of that was great and good. Good job, MJ. Not that it cares, but like if whenever you're on, I'm sure you will be. Big Ovaries Jana.
Big Ovaries Jana. No, I'm not a Patreon member, so probably not.
I mean, if you hit a fucking DG Kiki, you'll be on.
Justin hit it first, like everything. But
yeah, we can't all be Justin. It's fine.
Yeah, maybe MJ will totally hook a sister up, but he didn't even know my name, so I highly doubt that's happening anytime soon. So I will not hold my breath, but I'm super glad that you were on. I am super happy that you got to have some airtime and you plugged our podcast, and it was great. It was great for everybody. Good job.
Thank you, MJ. I'm sorry I besmirched your beautiful podcast. I also didn't wear any makeup, nor did I put my hair down.
You're right. I know. I told you needed to have your boobs out and put some makeup on.
Mm-hmm.
You did not follow orders.
Mm-hmm.
If I am ever on MJ, I'm sorry. Boobs are going to be out. Makeup's going to be on.
You know what sort of journey I'm on right now? I'm not going to tell you. This is a side story. We're going on a side quest real quick.
Oh, side quest. Yes,
when I was I wish there was. When I was a little child human, like 2, I'm talking 2, I didn't want to be a girl. I thought girls were stupid. So I dressed as a boy until now, basically.
Forever? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I do wear like female gendered clothing now, but it's pretty boring. I don't know if you've noticed. It's like the same, like a t-shirt and pants and a sweatshirt, Mm-hmm. And I have worn more gendered clothing, but it turns out the person I was when I was 2 is the person I am now. I like dinosaurs. I like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I don't want to wear girl clothes that much. Nor do I want to particularly act like a girl. Even though, I have a husband and I like his wiener. So, people come in different flavors. And I do not judge a woman who wants her titties out and wants to wear makeup. Like, that's cool too. But both versions are acceptable.
I was that kid until I was like
13.
15.
Yeah, that's fine too. People figure it out.
Boobs.
Yeah.
I literally shopped in the boys section and wore the like Jenga pants, the ones that were like the super skater. You know what I'm talking about? With like the fancy pockets on the
Junko.
Jankos. Thank you.
Junko jeans.
Oh my god, I cannot believe we're the same age. This is so fun. Yeah, and
I had Junko jeans.
Boys t-shirts and skater pants and skater shoes and very androgynous, and then I got boobs. And I'm still not super girly. I mean, I do put on makeup sometimes, but 90% of the time I'm not. But I do like to dress it up sometimes. And now that I'm single, I like to hang out my boobies.
Judgment-free zone. But I guess my point is, if I were to dress up, I would not be comfortable or think I was presenting myself in a nice way. I would think I was putting lipstick on a pig, and I would be self-conscious of that the entire time. So,
I was more teasing you, actually.
Yeah, I know you were, but I was just I don't know. Nobody gives a shit, really.
Right.
I think. Who cares? Most people fucking listen to it on download anyway.
Right.
But
no, I was.
If people are ever like, "Why are you so weird?" Well, that's fucking why. Also, I can murder a goat and process it in an hour, and take care of baby animals and ride a horse and whatever. I just don't fucking feel like dressing up particularly ever. Whatever.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah. But I'm saying both versions are totally okay, including a hyper feminine girl. That is also correct too. Nobody cares.
My bestie literally cannot leave the house if she does not have full makeup and lipstick, and I will show up and she will be in full makeup and lipstick and look like she just came from a business meeting, and I'm literally rocking t-shirt and jeans and mom bun and no makeup at all, and we still go and have fun, and whatever we're doing it, and she looks like a 9 and I look like a hot mess, and it is totally okay for both of us.
Yes.
But there are moments in my life, especially now that I am single, where I would like to look nice, and that I do.
Jana, you
nice
always look nice.
Thank
even
you.
when you're not
I
nice.
I like to class it up a little bit, and now that I am not married to a very conservative person, I can have my boobies hanging out because I did not do that before because it was offensive to him. So any y'all that follow me on Instagram, you can look forward to seeing more of my boobies.
Nice. A plus. 10 out of 10. Yeah, that's all. Are we done with MJ?
Yep.
All right, excellent. Forward Motion was on Samson Snakeatorium. Did you watch that one?
Nope.
Not a requirement. But Gerald Taylor, I would consider a friend of the podcast. And I just wants to congratulate him on still moving forward. Great name. After the bad stuff that happened to him in his collection. He showed off the snake I sold him. The snake's famous. There was a really cute drama in the corn snake community last week that was so small and pure that I just wanted to congratulate the corn snake community for not being weird. They had just like the tiniest little bit of drama, and I was like, this is so gentle compared to what's going on over here. And I loved it.
Threats and lawsuits and
Yeah, I was like, you guys are so fun. This is your little drama this week. You guys, I love you. And it wasn't even that fun, but somebody in Europe was like, we proved that Halo is incomplete dominant. Sarah Moore, who's been working on it for a long time, was like, it's already been proven. Here's like the evidence. And they're like, we weren't implying that you hadn't proved it. We were just saying we also proved it. But their first message didn't really say that. So the confusion was clear
Valid.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then nothing really came of it. And I was like, God, that was cute. That was it. That was the whole thing. Congratulations, Corn Snake Hobby. You guys are so fun.
I did that. Okay, yep, you already did it. We did too. Go us.
I know, I love them. There was no lawsuits. 10 out of 10. Collection updates. You sent me some snakes you wanted to buy. How do you feel about those snakes today? What are you doing, Jana?
Real itch to buy, but I also have a real itch to sell half my collection.
Is that where you're going now officially?
Yes, I think so. I think I still am teetering about Clown Pied, but I'm definitely selling anything that's not recessive or heifer recessive. I'm definitely selling some males that I'm hoping to replace with other males and seeing where that puts me financially. If I still don't have the money to purchase what I want, then I will probably sell my Clown Pied project, which may also include my pieds. I'm okay with that. I think downsizing and really putting the money in to one specific triple recessive isn't a terrible plan, and having less snakes in the meantime, but the capacity for more snakes while I'm going to school full time is smart all around. And then using that money to buy, selling 20 to 30 snakes and using the money to buy 5 or 6 really good snakes, I feel pretty good about that, actually.
Is the DG project mostly going and you're just keeping the oldest female hets, or are you keeping babies?
The DG project, I have a visual pastel DG female, and I think that she's fine to squish into Enhancer G-Stripe Clown.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll stay. I don't know if I'll keep a bunch of hets from him. If he turns out cryptic, then I might. I mean, I'll know in 60 days. I will wait to sell that stuff. In the meantime, anything that's not recessive or nails down will be going.
Are you mostly going to start at the show, the July show, and then
Correct.
see what's left and then sell on Morph Market? Is that the plan?
Yes, because a bunch of them still need to lay. But I also think that, because I was trying to hit 25 to 30 clutches this year, and next year I probably don't want that many anyway. I mean, I think I'll eventually come to Jesus about selling off the Clown Pied. I'm just having a real hard time with it because I love Pied so much. But my real passion project is the Enhancer G-Stripe Clown. And so I want those resources to put into that project. Like, there's a female 2020 double het G-Stripe Clown that I think I'm going to just go ahead and buy. Also, if I buy her, I need a male to put to her. The male that I want is like $15,000. In order to get those funds, I need to sell a lot of stuff. I've been going back and forth on it a lot, whether or not to sell the Clown Pied project. But at this point in my life, and with the change in my relationship and my 5-year plans, like I going back to school and stuff, it's probably the thing that makes the most sense. But for the next 60 to 90 days, I'm just going to work on fleshing out all the not hets, whatever females, you know?
Mm-hmm. What other clutches do you have going on right now?
I had a clown to what I thought was a het clown. I had bought a collection in September, and he had 3 snakes that he was confused as to which one was which. And he said 1 is a disco and 2 are het clowns. And so I had labeled 1 that I had thought was disco and was pretty confident in my labeling. But I guess not. But all of them are listed in my notes as disco or het clown. I really thought I was going to see my first visual clown babies. And so I cut this clutch and was pretty disappointed to not see any clown.
Did any of the babies look disco?
Some of the bananas look extra. I think it is the disco. I will take pictures once they shed, and you can help me look at them. But I do think there is fire or disco or whatever in the clutch. But the babies are beautiful, and they'll sell really great at the show. I'm not keeping anything from that. And then I have my highway clutch, my highway to my pastel leopard highway male. So that is a really exciting clutch. I'll be cutting in the next few days. Really excited for that. And then my Partheno, which we'll talk about on our upcoming episode.
So let me just go back a little bit here. So your second king snake never laid, and your first king snake never double clutched. Is that correct? Female king snake?
That is correct. Yes.
Right,
but I didn't pair them again.
Oh, you didn't? All right.
After that encounter, I was like, over it. So.
All right, can I make a correction?
Sure.
I told you maybe 10 episodes ago that I didn't expect a female to double clutch this year because she didn't double clutch last year, even though she was paired twice.
Uh-huh.
She did double clutch.
Cool.
So she's just decided to do it anyway. I don't know why she didn't last year. Motley, but it's just...
Which is the one that laid the clutch of ones that you're drooling about? Do we get to hear about that today?
Sure. I don't have any time restrictions on... What clutch am I drooling about? I drool on about everything. That's what
No, this was like extra amazing.
Talking about the Miami Okatee babies, Kumako's babies.
Milky Way and Snickers.
Oh, that's the Slowinski eye. The Slowinski eye clutch turns out they all have kinked tails. All of them.
What?
I know, isn't that wild? The parents don't have kinked tails, and none of the corn snakes that were incubating with them at the same time have kinked tails. It's just like...
So it's like a bad pairing?
No, because then it would be like if it was recessive, right? It would be 1 and 4. It has to be developmental. Like she made bad eggs, or...
Oh, okay.
I mean,
that's a bummer.
It could be heritable. I just don't think it's like autosomal recessive. Yeah, and they're not bad kinks. Like they could live and probably breed, but basically all of them have like a minor kink after the vent in their tail. I was just like, what the fuck? This is lame.
Because I thought that it was a big deal that they proved out something that they weren't even supposed to be.
They're
right?
slow. Yeah, they were silverleaf in there, which is the, I don't know, pattern mutation for that species. But they're all kinked, so I'm not sure what to do with them. Chris was like, are you killing them all? And I was like, I don't know. It's past the cloaca. They were going to probably mostly go to pet homes anyway, because they're not expensive animals. You know what I mean? So
I don't see a reason to call them.
They're starting to eat. They're really big and aware. I think there's one where the kink is a little more severe, where it's over itself. I'll probably call that one if it gets gangrenous or something weird, because it's never going to shed right. So either I need to ligate it, call it, or something. Fun. But that's just what happens. And it's just dumb luck that you can screw the pooch that hard. I did, in other news, find someone in the yard.
Your king snake?
Yes.
Yay!
Listen.
What's she doing? Is she fat?
She was fat,
and
sassy, and much bigger. So.
Whoa, that's like free resources right there.
She has ravaged the landscape. Well, I'll have to test her for crypto next time I do whatever.
Is she allowed back in the collection?
So she's in quarantine now, and you know, I'm just like, you little son of a bitch. What have you been killing and eating? It could have been anything. She probably doesn't have crypto. Crypto's not extremely common in the environment, but it can happen. So you might as well safe than sorry. She's available to eat any little Slowinski around that we need. It's just so funny.
She could eat the curly tail.
Right. I found her like 5 or 6 days ago. And Chris is like, "Are you going to tell Jana?" I'm like, "No, I'm surprising her on the podcast."
Thank you for surprising me.
Yeah, I just...
That's very exciting. I'm happy that she was like, not on the town for months.
Yeah,
Just gonna go help
so she
myself.
came, she must have brumated underneath the house, and as she emerged at some point, around April when it was just getting warm enough for them to move, and then murdered families of little shrews or something, living in the grass. This fucking snake. So now she has to be kept forever because she's got a story.
She's got a story for sure.
So
what's her name? Is she gonna get a new name?
She never got a name. She wasn't around long enough.
Like the Wanderer or some adventure name.
Calypso. She's a pirate. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll think of something.
Now she's my favorite.
I know. Oh God. Who knows how many native garter snakes she ate? What a bitch.
Oh, probably all of them.
I know. Shh, don't tell the West Virginia DNR.
My native garter snake that escaped.
You found it?
I did not catch her, which is fine. She's doing great. She was huge. She was like this big when she escaped, but she's huge now. She likes to bask on this rock in my yard, which is where we tried to catch her because we saw her last fall outside, and we were always trying to catch her, but she's fast as fuck. And so I need to go herping with you, and you can teach me the ways of catching snakes because I suck at it, apparently. It was a real nice day the other day, and I was cleaning rats and walking back and forth, and then I was like, hey, you jerk. And so I went to pick her up, and she was just like, poof, gone into the sticker bushes. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going after you into there. Probably could, but no thanks. But she looked great. Like, she'd been hoeing around, eating all the things.
Mm-hmm. Was she native? I mean, was she native, a pure
but she was
Puget Sound
hatched.
Right.
She was a Puget Sound garter.
Okay.
I should not have had, but I didn't know. And then my 3-year-old had accidentally let her out.
Yeah, DNR, cover your ears.
Cover your ears. She's back in the wild. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, I mean, there's a question of did we accidentally injure? Yeah, all right, yeah. It never happened. It's a secret.
Anyway, our little pet outside garter that was never taken from nature and is exactly where she should be, and no question. She basks in our yard still and looks like she's doing great. And the cats went to live with my ex. I'm sure that there will be many more garter snakes in our yard this year because my one cat liked to
kill garters
them all the time. My kids were always trying to rescue garters from her.
Oh, Chris told me today, he's like, I have grind your gears, which is dumb. He was like, tip the scales. And it's sort of because snakes have scales. Related? Is that as good? Not as good?
Tip the scales as a grind your gear?
Yeah.
When you think of the scales, I don't think of you're mad about something.
Right, but it's ruffle your feathers. Instead of ruffle your feathers, it's you're tipping your snake scales.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's cute.
Is that cute?
It is cute.
All right, I'll tell him.
I think Chris should be able to have a little.
All right, I'll tell Chris that he's cute. Good job, Chris.
He is, our most dedicated listener.
I know, it's so weird.
It's so adorable and good job, husband.
I know, thank you.
If we could just clone him, then I maybe we could both be happy.
There's a feller out there for you there, girlfriend, somewhere. Yeah.
Gotta get rid of my old one first.
Yeah, 100%. Did you see my little thingy bob in the egg I posted today on Instagram?
What is that? Wait. I'm looking at 7 hours ago.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it wild? So orange.
Wait. What was the pairing?
So the pairing is a blackhead, yellow belly, pause hat clown. Pause Regine, I think. And to a black pastel Inchi. So this is back to our ALS episode. So she only produced Inchis and black pastels, obviously. And that is a black pastel, blackhead, yellow belly. Nice thing. It's just so over the top. This fucking thing is, when it comes out, it's going to be awesome. You know how, I'm not saying it's Barnhart line, But that mother reminds me of Barnhart Line Black Pastels, and I bought her just a regular. She throws like pixelated
really nice
sides and lots of
pastels.
fuzzy stuff. So she could even be related. I don't know. But this looks like that. Like a very nice version. Lots of like red and stuff.
That's going to be a hot clutch.
So this is sort of a dumb clutch, right? Because the male is not a visual.
I was a little surprised because you don't normally do non-recessive pairings. But look at that fucking baby. So,
all right, there's too much yolk here on the good one. But this is the brother, which I don't think has yellow belly in it. I don't know if you can see. No, you can't see anything.
Oh, I can see.
This is just black pastel blackhead. No yellow belly.
That's insane. She's got to be Barnhart. I mean, that's just gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm into it. So the goal here was to make female.
Hold up the whole damn clutch, woman.
Well, that's the only one that's out. That's blackhead.
I don't care. Hold up the whole damn clutch. Let me see.
So for the people on the download, I can't do that. No, it's got to be tomorrow.
How many eggs are there? 8?
3 of them are out, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 left, and I think 1 is dead in the egg.
Bummer.
There's another blackhead Enchi, another blackhead black pastel, and then this blackhead.
So you're keeping all the girls?
I don't know. I mean, the goal here was like I like super blackhead, and I want to treat it as a recessive.
Oh, okay.
And same with super GHI, like.
Right. Okay.
So I just wanted to make more female blackheads to like throw to like a tri-stripe or a puzzle or something.
All the female blackheads. Yeah, I need some of that in my life too.
Yeah, so he's bred a lot of girls for me that are like other things. Like he got a het pied girl, which is random because he's not het pied, but I was just like, blackhead reacts to het pied, so I could keep blackhead, yellow belly, het pied females, and they'd be pos clown, whatever. So it just depends on how many I get. Yeah, I would normally do this. He was supposed to be a visual clown, right? This is the replacement animal for the visual clown blackhead I tried to buy and then settled for this male. And he's a very nice quality and a really obvious yellow belly. And the yellow bellies in there are obvious. Life sucks. And at this point, I don't think I'm going to buy a blackhead clown male. I'd probably buy a different clown male. So I need them on the female side.
Yes you do.
Even to make like super blackheads het whatever the next blackhead thing I make is. Does that make sense? I don't know. That was the plan with that. But that was my first clutch pipping on the ball python department. I had like 400 more corn snakes and stuff that hatched. Clearly they're just all coming out of my ears. Definitely.
Yeah, what are you gonna do with all those? Wait, so
feed them to a king snake.
Are you gonna share with the group that your house is under contract?
Oh, sure. I don't care.
Okay. So are you or are you not planning to be at the show? Like, do you have...
Oh, I already bought tables.
Oh, okay.
I don't have to be at the show, but I will be here at that point because we're closing on the 13th of July at this point. So we'd have a rent back until August 13th.
So it's just like literally like a few days later is the show.
Right, and then we could work on moving in the 2 weeks after that. That was the plan anyway. It might be a bad plan. If they get mites at the show, right? How am I going to transport them separately? Do I only take stuff to the show that I wouldn't want to keep and then I like try to wholesale it or something? Like bring it back, fipronil it, try to wholesale it at that point so it doesn't have to like travel with me.
Yeah, if you want to wholesale those to me.
Yeah, I thought about it. I just don't know.
I have my vision. If you decide to do that, I have my vision rack and I can take them because I'm going to a show in probably, I don't know, I'm still thinking about the August show in
Hillsborough,
Portland, and then there's a September show in Spokane, and then there's show.
Would you do one that far away?
Spokane?
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have very many vendors at all.
Or they don't have very many people either.
Holly and I are just gonna go. We're gonna get a table, and we're gonna see.
All right. Well, maybe it'll be good. I don't know.
I mean, it's just like literally we'll go and do the show. Like we'll spend a night in the hotel, Friday night probably,
Well,
And
if you do
then-
that in August, when is Arlington? September?
Oh, I might be going to Arlington. Are you going to Arlington?
Yeah, probably, because I'll be down there. So the Arlington show doesn't conflict with your other personal show?
Okay.
Yeah, just that's
Spokane?
what I'm saying. Yeah, whatever
No,
the other shows are.
Arlington is like the 25th, and the Spokane show is the 10th.
Are you taking your kids to the Spokane show?
No, they should be with my ex.
Interesting, Janice. Making moves. Doing a lot of shows. Ideally, the show's inventory would go to the show and come back to its own area, separate from all of their stock, in my opinion. We can talk about this ad nauseum. So I could keep my own show inventory if I felt like I had a way to keep it separate. So I don't necessarily have to wholesale it. I'll think about it. I might wholesale some of it. I don't know. There's a lot to think about there. I'm not ready yet to process that information.
I don't need you to process that information.
All right.
Hopefully my building will be up by then, like finished, and I'll be moved out there by then.
What else happened? Anything else happen? There's been a lot of stuff happening, but I don't know what's like super germane to life. I did do like one last, not the last ultrasound, but basically the last ultrasound.
I did my last ultrasound of the season because the males need a break as well.
And I didn't detect any follicles in any additional 2020 females.
Yeah, I got a big fat goose egg out of my 2020s. There were nunesies.
Right, I did have like a reabsorption on a adult female het pie that's like a 2011 or something for no reason.
Yes. So
Maybe had another one. I'm not sure yet. I have to go like double check. So I had like 2 reabsorptions. We'll probably end up with like 12 clutches or so, which is fine. Ball pythons are
how many did you have last season?
10.
Oh, okay.
I
I'm at
haven't.
13 right now.
Yeah, I didn't buy any adult females to like increase my numbers or whatever, except for the 2 I got from you, and one of them went and one of them didn't. My increase in numbers is in boas and colubrids. Like I have a trillion colubrids. And some of them are being like a pain in the ass to get feeding, so I have started assist feeding the very oldest that aren't eating, which has been really fun. All right.
Assist feeding, that's not normal with corn snakes.
Sure is. A lot of
I
them
like
want to eat lizards and frogs as babies.
Oh, I thought they were like super easy, just like tossing pinkies to everybody. And
Yeah, I mean, some
Take
of
it
them
out.
are. But a lot of them still have like the desire to eat what they're supposed to eat in the wild. Like last year's babies were very good. None of them needed to be assisted. And they might have been like picky for live, but these are babies that won't take live or washed or boiled or scented with chick. So that means they want frog or lizard, and I only have so much anole juice to go around. So they've been getting assisted with my stales. So that means that since those are from mothers who last year had better babies, it's the father's fault. Another reason not to have a pair of snakes is now I know for sure who the culprit for making picky babies is. I can rotate his ass out.
it's interesting that that's genetic.
It makes sense though. Like if you live in a certain area, there'd be a selection for the behavior that would make you most fit to survive in that area.
Yeah, I mean, that's makes sense.
See us at the July show, everybody. What is it? July 16th and 17th?
July 16th and 17th.
I only bought 2 tables, even though I said I was going to buy like 10.
So I have a corner, Holly has a corner, you have a corner, and then my friend Lindsay is going to be up and she's going to get a table. So we might have like a whole.
Oh, thank God.
We just have to put that we want to be by each other.
All right. Well, let's do it. It'll be pure. I'll see everybody next week. Don't message anybody. Don't want to talk to you. Well, I'll talk to you next week. Jana's still on BG duty.
But no dick pics.
No dick pics, but you can send her a message.
But actually, because I'm a messenger, maybe I want your dick pics. But ask first. Consent's important.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Woo!